Hey everyone, my name is Gavin, and this will just be a quick tutorial on how to debug a simple script with Python in the Blender game engine. I will be doing this for I'll be doing this tutorial on a PC. If you're using a Linux computer, the way you open up the system console is by opening Blender itself from the terminal window. And if you're using a Mac, I really don't know how to open the system console, but I'll just be doing this method for PC users. So, yep, I'll just get started. So to start off, let's go from defaults to game logic and go from Blender render to Blender game. And what you're going to do first is you're going to add an always sensor on this cube and add a Python controller on this cube as well and connect that to your always sensor. Do templates Python and then game logic simple. Drag this out and delete the portion that I've highlighted right here. Hit Control and scroll up on your mouse to make your text larger and rename this as scripts.py and add this right here. Now, I'll just be debugging two separate things today. One will be printing a variable that isn't defined, and the other will be using a game property that is not defined. So, what you're going to do is open up the system console by doing window and then toggle system console. And what you should see first is that I'm just going to print a variable, so print a variable to the console, and this variable will be called word. But the thing is, we don't actually have a variable called word defined, so it is going to give us back an error. So if I hit P now, you'll see on first it'll say line 11 in module has an error, and then line 9 in the main function has an error. So what it's saying right here is on the function that is called at line 11, there is an error inside that script. And the script is reading the error on line 9, and it's saying name word is not defined. So what we can do to fix this is you can either define word somewhere, you have to define the variable word sometime before you actually have to print it to the console. So we'll have word is equal to 11. So if we hit P, we can see it's going to print 11 to the console because word is now defined. I'm going to erase these two lines and I'll just do one more example of how to debug a simple script. And this next example will be trying to add a game property, but there is no game property inside of our game. So what I'm going to do is do own prop is going to plus equal 1, and we're going to print own prop. So what this could kind of say is that it's going to be looking for the game object prop on our cube object, and it's wanting to print that to the console. But there is no game object there is no game property prop on our cube object. So if we hit P to play, it'll give us back an error on line 12 right there. So like where my mouse is clicking, it's reading an error in this main function, and it's reading it on line 9. And the error it's saying is key error value game object key. And they're pretty much saying the property prop does not exist. So we can kind of fix this by adding, let's say, an integer, and we'll just keep it as prop like this. So if we hit P now, it has found the game object property prop, and it's adding 1 to it and printing it to the console. Alright, so that is a simple way of how to debug a script, or a simple example of how debugging works in Blender. I hope you guys find this very useful, and thanks for watching, and have a good day.